Hello, friends. Welcome to Quantum Convergence. My name is Siyana Sun, and I am so glad that you have joined the channel today. I have a channeled message for you, and it comes from after I was doing my meditation today. I had started to record for the collective and realized that afterwards my audio wasn't on. I forgot to take my mic off mute. And the ironic thing about that is the audio that I was recording was about not feeling heard and helping the collective work through throat chakra blockages. And I just find this really funny as from source from the universe to be like, hey, guess what, you are still working on this specific block yourself, and that it's something that you can share with the collective. So on that note, as a collective, I'd like to talk about how important it is for us to share our voice and to recognize that sometimes in our experiences in our childhood, we were silenced. A lot of that can be fear of expression because you were controlled in your environment to only be able to share or talk about what was acceptable or what they deemed appropriate or what they in your environment believed was okay to talk about. And this also gets into sharing who you really are from a place of authenticity and from a place of your truth, like your who you really are. And in our environments, when we experienced emotional, physical, sexual traumas and mental traumas, all of those experiences taught us how to be quiet, especially if it involved criticism and that gave you anxiety. You might have a difficult time with authority. You might have a difficult time just even having a normal conversation with someone if there is any sort of tension between you, if there is even a very small conflict. So, avoiding conflict, avoiding confrontation, avoiding anything where you have to speak up for yourself because maybe you didn't feel safe in your environment to speak up. And this collective right now that I'm connecting to energetically, there were many of us who felt silence throughout our formative years. While our brain was forming, we were absorbing everything in our environment. And when we don't recognize how deeply we're being programmed, we go through our lives feeling that we don't have a right to talk about ourselves, talk about what we love, talk about what's important to us, talk about what we enjoy, what we find you know that's intriguing or um it's hard to pinpoint all the different ways in which we were all silenced. There's so many facets to this trauma or to this core seed belief system of not being heard. And when we don't feel heard and we don't feel seen and we don't feel valued, it's very difficult for us to express ourselves. And I'm even having a hard time expressing myself in this video because I'm picking up on everything in this collective as well as my own traumas and the things that I have experienced through my life that tried to silence me. Now, as I was meditating for this message today, I was holding my Lemurian. It's a Lemurian seed crystal, and it is from Mount Shasta. And I received some messages that were talking about our ability to collapse old strands of DNA within your present lifetime to activate new strands of DNA and connect to your timeline or timelines where you are able to access the wisdom and the knowledge that were gained in that timeline, um, through connection or being a bridge with your highest self. Once we recognize that we're capable of releasing our old belief systems and the way that we perceived our reality, we are capable of inviting new levels of spiritual gifts and intuition and guidance from the universe, guidance from your highest self, and to receive messages from your spirit team, from your spirit guides and guardians, from any of the guiding energies that you are connected to, whether that's the animal kingdom or you are connected to dragons or unicorns or the fae. Many of us are connected in different realms and different dimensions. And they want you to know that you have this access to communicate with these guardians that are meant to guide you into your next steps in your ascension path. And to be able to receive these messages and to communicate with your spirit team, it's very important for you to recognize your own blockages within yourself, whether that's in your throat chakra, whether it's in believing that you have spiritual gifts or that you are connected to your intuition. Many of you who are going to be drawn to this collective are going to be very connected to your intuition, your spiritual gifts. But what they want you to know is if you are not, and even if you are, there's always new levels that you can receive information from these other realms, either other timelines and dimensions and versions of yourself in these other experiences. Now, this is getting kind of quantum, which it should be because this is quantum convergence, where we are going to be merging the spiritual and the quantum realm to help you heal generational cycles and patterns that are keeping you stuck. And one of these that we were being called to explore today is the blockage of speaking your truth, of communicating what you need, communicating your needs, communicating your desires, communicating your truth, not being afraid to share your authentic self in whatever way that you're meant to do that. And that could be through expression, whether it's writing, whether it's singing, whether it's art, whether it is expression through your voice, speaking like we're doing, or having your own YouTube channel or having your own platform where you are using your voice to share the experiences that you learn from in your life. And as a multidimensional channel and interdimensional channel, I'm supposed to be guiding you into these places within yourself and helping you open up this container of space within yourself to recognize these parts of yourself that have been hidden. As you are listening to this, you're going to be aligned in the frequency that you need to bring some of these things to the surface. You might recognize you're having some dreams. You might recognize that you're having daydreams, or you're having like aha moments of, oh my gosh, I remember this happened when I was this age. And this is where I probably felt really silenced or wasn't able to speak my truth, or I was afraid to talk, afraid to share my opinion. Those are all the core seed belief systems, the moments that the shadow was created. And when that shadow is created, it becomes a part of you, but it's buried deep underneath everything else that comes after that. And because it usually happens in your formative years, you can go years, decades, until these things are ready to come to the surface, especially if there was any sort of trauma, physical trauma, sexual trauma, deep emotional and mental trauma, those experiences will really block you off from your heart center and block you off from the essence of your soul. And your essence of your soul is what you're connecting to when you're going into doing shadow work. You're working into these deeper understandings of who you really are and recognizing that what happened to you was truly only meant to be a lesson. But because we weren't taught to process through it and we weren't taught to understand it or recognize it in our life, we buried it. And then it festered. And sometimes that energy can actually turn into physical ailments in the body. And I'd be curious if any of you are experiencing any sort of chronic illnesses, immune disorders, anything from autoimmune disorders and things that have thrown off the balance of your central nervous system. Um, all of those are side effects of holding on to these things within the shadow. And eventually, this cycle is going to kind of come around, and you're going to recognize that something within you is out of balance, and it will keep coming around. And your highest self has a way of bringing these to your attention. And the lessons will be easier in the beginning, but as you continue to work through this, the lessons will, if you don't listen, then the universe is going to go, okay, well, you're not recognizing this. So we're going to create something in your environment that's going to get your attention. And those are what within the tarot we call like the tower moments. Now, I don't do my intuitive messages through the tarot, but I might actually pull a few oracle cards here and there. I might pull some tarot cards here and there, but I specifically am connecting to the energy of this collective. And maybe we'll use some of those cards to explore deeper into some aspects that are coming to the surface if need be. We'll just kind of see how that goes. And yeah. Anyways, back to understanding about why we are being called to bring these things to the surface. These lessons that you had in your environment when you were younger hold the keys to unlocking new strands of DNA where your spiritual gifts lie and collapsing old timelines and releasing old strands of DNA that no longer need to be a part of you anymore. And I know there's not a lot of science behind this, but within the realm of the quantum, you're capable of making shifts in any area of your life as long as you believe that it's possible. The subconscious mind is capable of reprogramming your entire reality so that you can overcome anything that was holding you back, any cycles or patterns that have been keeping you stuck. You're capable of making these shifts and these changes within yourself. And I think this is a good place to leave this, and we will explore this further in later videos. But I wanted to kind of give you an idea of the collective energy as we're experiencing and learning to let go of these blocks that kept us from sharing our truth, that kept us from expressing ourselves artistically or through music, through writing, through however it is you put yourself out there in the world and you express yourself. They want you to know to continue to express yourself and find new ways to fulfill yourself, bring more joy, bring more happiness, bring more laughter and play, and be okay with making mistakes. Nothing has to be perfect. most of us in our environments that experienced a lot of trauma through generational cycles, we weren't allowed to be playful. We weren't allowed to be expressive. We weren't allowed to, jump around and run and play and be silly. Many of us were silenced and told to be quiet or go sit in the corner or, what are you doing? I'm busy. Like, go over there and go play by yourself. Like, we weren't encouraged. That part of us wasn't encouraged. And it's important for you to encourage that within yourself and to play and to have fun and to get out there and get your hands in the dirt and go climb mountains and get out in the sunshine and play in the water and play in the ocean if you're near one, and really just get out in nature, and enjoy the sounds of the birds and the wind and the trees. So anyways, I am so grateful that you are here. Thank you so much for joining us. And I will be um, doing more videos as we have more and more of a collective energy here. I can start to feel the community building, and I can start to feel it becoming more magnetic for the ones that are going to be drawn here. So thank you so much. And I can't wait to see how we grow this beautiful community and support. Please leave any comments below, ask any questions, or if there's anything that you would like to explore about anything that we spoke about in this video or other videos, please leave it below and I will do my best to respond to those, and then also to take that into account when I am doing our next video. Thank you so much, and I am so grateful for you. Have a wonderful evening, day, or morning wherever you are in the world. Until next time, goodbye.